Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well. Very busy, but very well.
Yeah, good. Awesome, awesome. I just made a page. Oh, do we already have a page for today's call?
Don't think so.
A page with the title 2023-08-29 Aries Marketing Working Group Call already exists. Enter a different title for your page.
That's done correct.
Yeah, I'm just getting an error message and I didn't make one, so I'll just do that. Oh no, I guess there is one. Weird. Maybe I was too efficient for my own good that I don't even remember being that efficient. Okay, I'll delete the new one then. Okay. So I will share this in case anybody wants to follow along. There we go. Cool. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, so as this is a meeting of the within the Hyperledger Foundation, we abide by the antitrust policy, and all the information to register a concern is listed here. Yeah, I guess we'll just jump into it. Let's see here. Actually, stop 1 second. There we go. Okay, so I was thinking for today, what we could do is, I guess, yeah, no, no welcomes or introductions. I guess the only announcement would be that we have updated the Aries page, right? Or
On
did
the
we?
Hyperledger site, yeah.
Okay,
Like
here. Yeah, so why don't you walk us through these updates, Alex, right? We have everything has been updated or no?
we've got the first part in here. Sorry, I've
Mm-hmm.
got a mouthful of cereal. Got the first part in here, but we need to do like a second stage. But just to cover off, we've got the new description there, which is great. We have the new panels below of the contributors' commits and lines of code.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can agree and take it to the community, we've got the supporting text, the follow-up text you've currently got on the wiki page, could come across this page as well. Some of the supporting benefits text and so forth.
Yes. So yes, so we have the new Hyperledger Aries draft page. So we have, yeah, the new description. You have sort of the high level, what you can do with it.
Yeah,
And then
this stuff, the key characteristics and
mhm,
text stuff is not replicated by the top text. I
mhm.
remember Ben said we can put that below that panel on the other page, and
Oh,
then we
okay.
were good to go. So we can add that longer text, which
Mhm.
actually I think we've been around the houses in this in terms of like advising the Aries main working group on this text. That I
Yeah.
think we're ready to go.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we'll send that to Ben to update on the website, and maybe he could do it a nice little, for panels, or I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
design he wants to do with it is fine. So we have the learning resources pages. Yep, questions, join the Discord, join the community. We have the community meetings, and then you had created this repositories project management issue tracking table, and I had added in the
Yeah.
corresponding user group meeting, and some of them don't have user group meeting. Is that right? Like the agent test harness doesn't
I'm
have
seeing one. No, test harness is a smaller endeavor than that, as far as I
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
The top one, the Aries main thing is really just a placeholder. The RFCs, that's really part of the main Aries meeting. RFC stuff goes into the main working group. The second
Okay.
line, yeah. Xamarin, I have no idea. and interop really ties into the test harness. So I would imagine if there's not one for the test harness, there's not one for either. I guess discussed generally, I think, at the main Aries working group.
Okay. And then, so if folks want to join those user group meetings, they can find them there.
That's great. It's so much. It's so much improved to get people into the right area. More for developer. You get. I mean, you've seen the working group meetings. They get quite detailed quite quickly, but they're all there for reference now.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think the main user group meeting, the Wednesday meetings are, primarily for like updates, very specific tech updates, to these communities. So offering an ability for people to jump into where they need to, and then basically be able to ask questions, learning resources. I think they're definitely off to the races. So what we can do then is I will go ahead, take it as an action item to move all of this to the main Aries page. So I will, let's see here. I'm going to move all this down. Oh, I got to hit edit first. Okay, so we're going to do dates. And so we're going to move Aries draft wiki page to main. Merge, maybe? I don't know. Merge is the right word.
Let's go with yes.
Domain wiki project page. We're going to send key characteristics to Ben for merge to org page. Okay. So I think those are like the primary updates per se, but I think what I wanted to talk about today was how to further make noise around with all the great content and language that we have created over these last several months. So the two ideas that I had were one that had come up when we talked to Ben, and that was the idea of doing a video.
Oh yeah.
Either an animated video or I don't know, some sort of explainer video that could live here. Some of the other project pages have videos. Whether that's just like a webinar, which I don't know is as successful as something that's short and punchy and however long like this. Welcome. This is like 2 minutes, which is even a bit long. So if we could get some kind of animated video created, that would be great.
Do we think that's where I'm not saying no, I'm just making sure we address the question explicitly. Do we think that's where the biggest gap is right now? That people come and it's really hard to understand what the hell this is. As opposed to, for example, developers who want to get into some more specific examples, or I don't know what. I'm just making sure that we've framed it ourselves in terms of what we think are the biggest. I think probably yes, but there's a bit of nuance within that.
Yeah.
Like the difference between a developer coming to assess Aries having been given a brief by his manager versus a video that's approachable by, more exec level.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to how we frame. I think generally something that summarized Aries is a great idea for both those audiences. Maybe it's the same video, but just making that explicit as to what we think the gap is.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there is an amount of shopping around in both of those categories, right? So if you're a business decision maker and you are evaluating vendors for some identity, something or other, and somebody mentions Aries, you're going to go and say, okay, well, what the heck is Aries? And you want to understand it. If you're a developer and you've been given a summary brief because your boss saw Aries being mentioned somewhere and you want to come and know what the heck it is, it should answer that too. Like it's, I think, a high level overview of what Aries does, and then taking taking a peek at like, well, what can be done with it, right? So you say, oh, Aries is this, it, you know, provides these things, and, you know, explore what, you know, connections look like when you have whatever, I don't know, we could like get further into the weeds, and, you know, explain some of the maybe working groups or something at the end, and then like as like the call to action or something like that. So I think it would hit both. I think if we write it correctly, it could hit both groups. It could target both groups.
I agree, and I think you're right. I was just making sure we called it out and talked it through, because I think it's spot on. There is one video that can hit both, and just, I mean, it's still, it just frames the whole of it, because it's not just one thing. Obviously, as we've seen from that table of all their repos, there's many moving parts to the idea of what this is. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to get the community to agree on the script will be even more interesting.
Yeah, I think if we were to kind of storyboard or script it out to, again, reflect the work that we've already done a little bit, but, you know, make it a little more punchy, like tighter and like more conversational. I think that would be good. Yeah. And then we could talk to Ben about whether or not we should try to, you know, use some kind of a service, or if, you know, Hyperledger has, you know, budget for making a video or something like that, but we can go from there.
Yeah, I can help with parts that I've done lots of script writing for this kind of stuff. I've even done the voice work for a couple of Go videos, but I would tackle the actual animation part. I can, it would be an exercise in learning something new that I know would frustrate the hell out of me quite quickly, even though I can get that. So yeah, if we had the budget to get somebody to do the actual animation part, that would be ideal. Because there are tools, right? If you got the right tool, it can be done for like a few dollars. Like, it's really, the tools out there, and they're really cheap. And some of the skills can do it in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
It comes with all the characters. You choose the type of animation you want. You want this to pan over here and this person to be sitting at the computer doing this. That stuff is all built in. They're very powerful now, those ones. Even more. I'm not talking about the AI stuff. I'm talking about generally the animated video tools are excellent.
Yeah, so maybe we ask Ben about that.
Yeah.
The other item that, so I have those action items in there. The other item that I had that came to mind is a white paper. And I just got a note. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. I'm so sorry. I have to run here in a couple of minutes. I have just been pulled to attend to a family issue.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I can pass this along. But you and Tim can talk about this. But the putting some kind of white paper together that would offer kind of an Aries overview, a lay of the land.
Well, listen, what I suggest, Helen, families first, do that. Let's maybe meet up again separately and bring something through to the next marketing meeting, because I think your involvement in this kind of discussion would be really valuable. Okay. I'll just catch you now to make sure there's anything else, how we covered off the things in motion right now as items, and let's meet again, you and I, separately. But really, do family stuff first. That's important.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry for cutting this so short. I've
been there. I know it. There's zero apology.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, then we'll cut this meeting short today. I'm gonna leave these notes here, and then we can chat offline about putting together an outline for a white paper.
Yeah, Tim, do you want to stay online for one more minute? We'll just recap on the items.
Sure, I can hang out for another minute.
Go ahead, go for it, Helen, and we'll.
Okay. Thank you. Apologies. Thank you so much.
Great to see you, Helen.
Yeah, just from your sense check, Tim, of hearing all the stuff going on, is there anything else you've missed? You've got the white paper idea, the video idea, updating the landing page of the Hyperledger Aries page. That's all that first point placed in there. Is there anything else that we've got in play? I don't think so, but I welcome your thoughts.
No, I think that's about it. And particularly between you, me, and Helen, I think that's probably realistically like what we should take on for now, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing I had is this draft wiki page. Are we close enough to how do we get that actually? I mean, that's the item that merging the main ones. So we've got that. Okay, we're covered. We've got it all covered. This is great. I'm just making sure there's nothing else in play that we hadn't thought about.
No, I think we're pretty much good, and then we can circle back with Helen once she's back to really be sure, because I think she's got better of a handle on it than I do. But as far as I'm aware, this is it. So
Brilliant. Okay, let's adjourn there. If you want to join a separate catch up I'll have with Helen about some of these aspects, you're very welcome to, if that's of interest. And we'll talk soon.
yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
Okay.
Talk to you
Cheers,
later.
Tim.